All right, so this is for Kyra Evonglade, and the idea that you've got going on is ultimately, I think, the right direction. But what you want to do is ultimately start building out your poses a little bit more. Okay, and so when you're doing something like this, if you're doing an uncertain character, the first thing I would do is not have the character actually face you. I would have the character kind of face downward and almost be looking up at the camera. Okay, and so that way you're pushing that character into kind of a more submissive pose, and that's going to kind of give you what you ultimately want to do. And then you've got the right idea where you're slumping the character over, and even playing with the arm. But the thing is, you want to really kind of think about your silhouette as well. And so what you want to do is kind of like give that character a little bit more hunch over, and I'm just trying to make them as thin as possible here. And with that, you kind of want to shy away, all right? And so more closed up on itself, which is good, but you want to still show the silhouette. And I'm just kind of roughing out this idea, and kind of really kind of pushing down the torso as well. Okay, and what you want to do is just kind of like, if you pull out this arm, so if we switch this arm out and give this arm over here, bring this arm over, and like so, more of, this uncertain feeling, you can see that the silhouette reads a little bit better. And I think, we want to play with the proportions and things like that. But you can see that having a better silhouette, I think, is going to help you out a little bit more. Okay? And then when you're building out the armor and things like that, don't, realize that your thickness has more thickness. So what I would recommend is that ultimately you want to build out the armor. So if this is a cleric and it's got armor, bring out the armor to the point where it's basically above everything. So you can see here that I'm building out that armor drastically comparatively, and I think that is going to help you out as well. Having the armor drastically built out a little bit more gives you a little bit more form and silhouette. And the clothes, you still have the clothes tucked in like this, but you also want to give some thought to the wrinkles on it accordingly. And so in this case, I would, kind of add in these wrinkles, lower the belt, get the belt in there. And so you can see here that just by putting in some of that stuff makes the clothing stand out a little bit more. All right, and so ultimately just bulk out the pose, and then also think about, with your character, also think about like how to make him smaller. So right now he's pretty thin, but the armor on him is going to look bigger. And so what you ultimately want to do is put a little bit more emotion in his face. Like, so I would work with the facial expression. I would have the eyes, kind of looking down, and just the face very, very, not angry, but I don't know what we want to do here. You just want to have the eyes basically tell the story, and then possibly even opening the mouth and giving it a little bit more uncertainty. And that's one of the things that I would definitely tell you to do, is just try and work out the little bits and pieces of, bulking out the armor a little bit more, getting a better silhouette in there, and then I think in order to do this type of pose, I think the best thing to do is get some photo reference of yourself posing in the manner, like the uncertainty, and then try and convey that a little bit more. Okay?